What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about stateless functional components, and this video should not take that long because it's not a very hard concept to understand or grasp. So stateless functional components is literally what the name says. It's stateless, so it's not going to have a state like we have here. It's a function, and it's a component. That's literally it. And where would we use these? It's basically anywhere where you do not use state. So for an example, header would be one. We're literally just grabbing something and spitting something back out. Action would be another one. Options would be another one. And option, another one. Add option, we actually do stuff here, so that wouldn't be one. So these are the ones where we're going to actually transform these into stateless functional components. And the reason why we want to do it is because, first of all, it renders faster. It doesn't have the baggage of a component as a class component would have. It's just way faster. So let's start with header. Or let's actually start with action right here. Honestly, it doesn't really matter what you start. So what we're going to do is make a const. It's going to be a variable, and we're going to name it action. Now remember, the name of it is literally going to be the same thing as what you would name for a component. So this is the component's name. So const action, and we're going to set it to a function. Okay. And right here, we're literally going to have this return. We don't even need to have that render. Copy, paste, just like so. Now, we go actually get rid of this, or I'm gonna just comment it out for now. All right, so with this, the way this actually works is that we're not calling this no more because this is not a class, it's not an instance, it's a function. So what we actually pass in here is literally the props. And props is literally the things that we're passing in here. So we're passing in this has option attribute, handle pick attribute, all these things we're passing in, they're going to be passed in as in props. And Richard is going to get rid of this, just like so. And there. That's it. That is literally it. This is how we do stateless functional components. So whatever you pass in, you pass it in as props, your argument as props, and then there you go. We could actually save this and run it. I don't have it running, so let's do yarn run build, just like so. I'm gonna add another one. I'm gonna do live server public. All right, we get this thingy. Why is YouTube popping up? Sorry, it's gonna take me some time to set this up. Right there. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. So there we go. We're running it, and you see right now it still works the same. So for action, what should I do? It's still disabled when we don't have nothing. If I start adding some stuff, there you go. It's adding, remove all. There we go. So we're actually going to be doing this for, like I said, header, options, option, for a component. So if you could get ahead of me, that would be great. But I'm gonna do these all with you guys, so that way, just in case you mess up somewhere, you don't have to, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm just copy this up here, const header is going to equal a function, an arrow function with props passed in, props, and we're gonna literally paste this, get rid of this. And there we go. Get rid of this. Let's go to options. I'm just copy this. Copy. Const options is going to equal props, paste, get rid of this. Ooh, what am I doing? There we go, and this. Okay, so we'll get rid of one more to go. Get rid of this, copy, const options is going to equal props, paste, get rid of this. Now we can get rid of this. Control save. Oops, something went wrong. Oh, I see what went wrong. Here it is. We have two options. This is the option. There we go. And we start adding stuff in. This is an option. Yeah, add option. Is this options and this is option? I can't remember no more. Okay, yeah. there it is. Okay, remove all. And if I just add, what should I do? It should give yes. So we just made all this into a, well, all the ones that we needed to into a stateless functional component. Now that you know about stateless functional components, we're going to talk about default props, okay? So for example, in header, we don't have to have a title or a subtitle. We could just default it to something. Let's say that we don't pass in anything, or a user never passes anything in. So we're going to add a default. The way you do this is literally right below this. We're going to put in header, our class, our component header. And this actually, since it renders as a React component, this actually has a method built in with it, and it's called default props, just like that. And this default props is an object, and this is where we're gonna tell all the what's it called, all the values that you want it to default to. So let's say we want title to be default, right? So if we save that and actually get rid of this title right here, there you go. We have the default, we got the fallback, and it's default, obviously, right? So let's actually grab this right here, copy, and just paste it right there. Ooh. And get rid of this. Now you can do it with the subtitle as well, but I'm gonna just leave that, like, they don't need to have that at all if they don't want to. So if, just in case they don't have one, we're going to, in our header right here, we're going to actually do a conditional. If the user actually puts in one, show the subtitle. If it doesn't, then don't show it. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So I'm gonna actually put in, so that way you know what I'm doing. I'm gonna just get this out. I'm gonna do an expression right here. So we're gonna do props. We're gonna check if props.subtitle. If it's so, then I want you to render our h2 prop subtitle, just like that. So if we actually have it, yes we do, but let's comment this out. Control save. Why? Let me see what's wrong. All right, I remember this. If you actually comment this out, it and we're still passing it in, so React's gonna be like, hey, we don't have a subtitle, so throw it out an error. So what we're going to do is get rid of this. Control save that, and we don't have one right now, which is what we wanted. Which is what we wanted. And Control Z, save. We should see it back. Yep, there we go. So this literally is not just for stateless functional components. It's actually just for class as well. So for, like, instance, the bucket list app, this is a class component, and we could actually make options a default prop. So the way we do that is find the end of this, go right here, bucket list app dot default props is going to equal an object. We're going to have options right here, and it's going to be an array. Control save, And remember, guys, every time we pass something in, I mean, a default prop, right? Since bucket list, like this used to be, or this is our main component, you know, we would still, if we want to use this default prop, we would have to pass it in all the way down here. You understand now? Pretty sure you do. It's a default prop, so we should want to pass the options right here. Okay. Just to make it clear, guys, we don't have to pass it in. It's really kind of confusing. We don't have to pass it in if you just want the default to be a single, like, where is it at? An empty array. We don't have to pass it in. It'll literally still work up here. We're not gonna do this. It's not gonna be an empty array. It's going to be props dot options. Options. Control save. If we actually save it, it would still work, as you can see. And everything will still work. The reason why is because we have our default prop options already set. So React knows that, hey, options is it defaulted right here and it's an empty array, period, right? But if we want to pass in stuff, like actually have stuff inside this options array, we will literally have to pass it down here. So right down here, we're going to say options is going to equal to a JavaScript or JSX expression with an array inside of it, and we're gonna say red light district. You know what I mean. If anybody doesn't know what I mean, well, you know. And want to go to Japan. Go to Japan. Control save. There you go. We got our defaults. So these two things that I talked about today is pretty useful. First of all, for making your application faster, because of the stateless components. If you don't use a state, then might as well just do it. The way I do React, when I do React projects, I usually just add classes to everything at the beginning. I know it's very hard because sometimes I just don't plan and I just do it. And I would add classes to every component. It doesn't matter if I'm using states or not. At the end, once I start refactoring, that's when I would like go back and say, hey, this is not using it, do a stateless component. Or we could use a default prop here for username, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah. So anyways, that is it for today, guys. We just went over stateless functional components and also default props. And in the next video, we're going to be looking at React DevTools, how we could actually use. There's an extension in Google Chrome where we could inspect and actually use it. I think I already have it. I think here's a Redux one. No, I don't think I have it. I can't see it. I don't think I have it, but there is a way you could actually inspect it. Because right now, if you do get an error, it'll just give you this. Look, check it out. I'm actually going to delete this error right here, or I'm gonna comment this out and you can see the error that I was getting last time. Here's the errors. Let's go right here. You can see this error. Subtitle is not defined. Sometimes it's going to be subtle like this where oh, subtitle. But imagine this is a big old project and it gives you this. You're like, okay, where's that at? And this one actually does give it to you. App 7 right here. But remember, guys, this is all like we're using. I don't know how to explain it to you, but we're using Babel and all that stuff. So you're going to get a nice little render right here. I might actually have the freaking tool. I'm not too sure, but you get my gist, right? It's just a React Dev tool. It'll help you out where the bugs are and stuff like that. And also, we're also going to look at how to remove individual options. Okay? And I think that's it. That's what I have for next video. But thank you guys so much for watching this video and taking time out of your day to watch this video. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you. Let me actually undo this so that way. Yeah. And I will see you in the next video. I said video. I don't know how many times in that phrase, but thank you guys anyways. Thank you.